Hey everybody, it's Eric from the MMG. Welcome to our channel. Today we're talking TCG Simulator. This came out a couple weeks back on Steam, getting overwhelmingly positive reviews. And you know me, I love a simulator. So checking this one out, and just fell in love with it. So we're gonna go top tips and tricks to get you rolling in TCG Simulator. All right, so tip number one, pretty early on in the tutorial, it's going to have you put down a display case like this one right here. I think this is the very first one you can get. Do not focus on that display case. Sell, I think it's 100 cards is what the quest is. Sell that 100 cards and then kind of forget about it for a little bit. You're going to want to wait until you get your store leveled up, until you start getting the purple cards, and the red cards is where the real value comes in. You can probably start doing it with these orange ones and make a little bit of money, but it's slow going. It's not worth the time it takes. So when you list a card and do this, you can go up to 30% pretty easily and sell it. That's what my goal is. I'm sure you can go a little higher sometimes, but 30% seems to be the sweet point above the market value. And you're going to sell these cards still pretty quickly, and you're going to make a nice hefty profit off of it. But until you get up to these level of cards, I would not focus on this very much unless you're just finishing the quest, because it's just not worth the time and effort that it takes. All right, next tip is when you're buying licenses for products, for instance, these deck boxes, there's different licenses for every color, which I think is kind of ridiculous. I kind of wish the developers would change it to where you just, if you buy the license for the decks, you get all the colors that you want for the same license. But anyways, that's not how it works. So I do not recommend buying all these. They don't make you much money. They're not hot seller items or anything like that. So what I'd recommend doing is maybe buy one, and then that's it for now until you save up your money, because money's going to be tight early on, and so buying licenses is kind of a big seller. Especially be careful with these mats. They cost a lot of money to buy a license for. I think they're like 1,000 is the first one, then 1,500. I don't really find like they're not worth it early on. So maybe just buy one item and then just sell that item until you get more money saved up. Next tip, running the cash register. So when you're starting out, you're going to be doing the cash register and the restocking by yourself because you don't have enough money to hire employees. So one thing you want to do is when you're setting a price, you want to round it. So I would go near market value and maybe round up to the nearest dollar. That's going to make running the cash register way easier. Do that for everything. All right, next tip is this auto send M1000. So people are going to come into your card shop and have this odor on them, and it lowers other people's opinion of your shop, and it makes them leave the stores. You want to get rid of it. You have these deodorant cans or whatever you can buy, and you can spray them on people, right? So you just you go like this, and then it'll get rid of the stink off of them. Now, I don't have anybody in my store that has a stink to show you right now, but that's all you're going to do for the first half of the game, and it gets real tedious too. You can put the can back when you're done too, and I don't think it has any negative effect on you. I haven't noticed it yet. But eventually, you're going to level up your shop, and you're going to get to the point where you're going to be able to buy this auto center. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's awesome. Bought it. Stuck it right here by the door. Everybody who walks in goes by it. It'll spray the stinky people, but it wasn't cleaning them completely. I still had to pull out another can and follow them around and spray them again. Super, super annoying. Now, when you get up to this, I think shop level 25 is when you unlock this one. And it's $2,000, I think. $1,500. This one will spray enough to clean them off in one shot. So you don't have to follow them around with a can and spray them again, which is way, way better. So do not buy that little auto center. Wait and save up till you can unlock this one and buy it, because you're still going to be chasing people around with a can and just wasting your time and your money. All right, next tip is the events. When you click on your tables, or you can do it from your phone here under Manage Events, this is the event for the next day. So there's the standard, which costs you nothing, and then you can also set a fee. I usually keep it near store charges, nearby store charges, and then you hit confirm event, and that'll be the event for the next day. Now, do be careful doing this, because if you have a high-end event, like go towards the end once you get them unlocked, I have the X Battle unlocked right now, that costs me $400 a day to run it. So make sure you're paying attention and you're not just leaving this on and running, because that could really use up a lot of your money. And I honestly, so far with my experience, you see there's positive effects here. I'm not really impressed with it. None of them really seem to be worth the cost, and it seems like better just leave it on standard. Personally, that's what I think. Maybe that'll change later on when I get into the game more. I'm not sure. But don't forget to set that. All right, next tip is this right here, your bulk card bundler. You'll see this in the store And I thought this is going to be freaking amazing. This is what I want. It's a workbench. It's $1,000 to get it. Hardly ever use it. Would not recommend buying it until maybe in game or near in game. What you do with it is it takes all your cards and you can pick your base set here that it's from, and you can also pick rarity and you can do card value and stuff as well. And then it bundles them, so it's like basically getting rid of all your excess cards that you're not really wanting to sell individually because they're not high end, and then you can put them here. But here's the thing: look at the market price. Yeah, not worth it. Next up is paying your bills. You do want to pay attention to this. The later on you get in the game, obviously the more these rack up. And, you know, $1,800 is a lot of money. And so if you're not paying attention and all of a sudden you got one day to pay it off, you may not make that much money back because it costs, you know, for all my bills right now, it's $3,200, which is a lot of money. So I recommend maybe paying one every other day to kind of spread it out a little bit so you don't have everything due at once. All right. Next tip is I would not recruit Zachary here. I know running the register sucks, but as long as you're doing rounding, his checkout speed is just so slow you get such a line backed up. I would not buy him. I would wait until you can buy Terrence, who's got a normal checkout speed, and then use him. And then, you know, you'll eventually get more unlocked as you move up. But employees do cost a lot of money. That while they're worth it, don't get me wrong, early game it's kind of hard to justify because you can kind of do everything yourself. All right, next tip I have for you is when you finally get somebody to do your stock for you, you can interact with them, and you can this is where you can assign their job, right? You can do restock shelf, and it says, should I autofill stock with no labels? I recommend not allowing them to do this. I recommend you set your time and set it all up. That way you have a spot for everything, and when you get it ordered in, it's not just thrown on the floor like this. Now it does take a little bit more work for you mainly, but it keeps them more organized and better looking. And the other thing I recommend doing is maybe maybe at least once a week or every other day, have your guys set your prices, because market prices change. And if you're not paying attention, you could really be missing out on making some profit because, you know, the market for that item has went up. And if you do this and just set it at 5 or 10%, whatever you want your thing to be, he'll go and set everything. He'll adjust all the prices. So I do recommend you pay attention to you do that. Like I said, either once a week or once every other day or something like that. And it doesn't take too long. He'll finish up, and then you can put him back onto stocking shelf. And the last tip is based on a new mechanic just added, trading. If you look for people with an exclamation mark over their head, you can offer, like this one right here, for $201.92. This is a very valuable card. Let's look at the market price on it. And look, it's actually way above market right now. He's actually asking me way under market. So that is a good deal. Now I'm just going to offer him $190 because I think he'll accept it. There he goes. He did. And I just got that card, and I'm going to make some major profit. And now watch. All right, that's my tips and tricks for TCG Simulator. Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to help us keep growing the community. And join our Discord if you want to talk more video games. Have yourself a great day.